Our first interview for the day. In studio, I have Grant van Ster and also Shaun. Oelf. Am I saying right? I have to be correct there. And also we will be getting an experienced dance theater practitioners and award-winning choreographers with a long list of achievements, having worked in the performing arts industry. Their love for dance and youth development lead him to founding dance collective called the Figure of Eight. Telling us more about the dance collective. Let's welcome Grant and Shaun in studio. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
Nice. What do you think of that intro, though?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that also.
Yeah. Apparently the producer made me look good there with that one.
Fabulous.
Shout out to him. Thank you very much for coming through. I know that you guys have been involved with so many things, especially when it comes to development of the youth. A lot of people don't know this, or they know, or they only found out later that sometimes art can do a lot for you as a person. It can free you mentally. It can open doors for you, obviously, with education. It can also show you world differently.
Yeah, it can really shape the way we move forward.
Yeah.
As a community, as a collective, as an individual. So very much.
Which is why in other countries they invest billions when it comes to art. You know, one of their countries is the US. The industry is big. Europe, Canada. Hey, man, there's a whole lot of countries where they don't play. To a point where shows like The Lion King, you know, which is so loved all over South America, Asia, because they understand that, you know, by watching these artists, they do something to you. Okay, enough Khusi being Oprah Winfrey. Okay, coming back to you, before we even speak about the initiative that you guys are doing. Take me back. How did you guys started? You know, if you were introduced to art, because I want the listeners listening now to know that. My child is doing the same thing. Okay, now let me take me back.
Oh my gosh. All right. So for me, I started my dancing at school. I was introduced actually to ballroom and Latin dance. It was my sister's 21st birthday. And, you know, in our culture, we throw a big celebration. And my mom got a choreographer in, and he instructed, for the 21st birthday, she had like 20 boys and girls, and they would do these formation dances. And she got a ballroom and Latin instructor in to teach. And that's where I fell in love with dance and started, doing ballroom and Latin myself, and end up dancing throughout my whole time being at school. Ended up touring nationally with ballroom and Latin, achieving so much. And then I got introduced to contemporary dance. And then I went on to study or to train with Jazz Art Dance Theatre. I went on to train at Jazz Art Dance Theatre, and I think the rest is history. And since then, I've just been able to keep going, keep making a difference, keep moving, keep unpacking and investigating the whole dance landscape, and see where I fit in.
Shout out to your mom. Shout out to your mom.
Definitely.
It's so cool when a parent encourages their child, especially for something that they love. You know? Shout out to she was open-minded.
You know, the funny thing about that was she actually got me into a karate class first. And I think the punches were too hard. And that's why I made the shift.
I think dancing is way more harder.
Very much.
And it was not a mistake too to even go to that karate so that you can see that, my son, don't fight. Fighting is not good for you.
Let's dance.
That is Grant van Ster telling us the history of where he started the love of dance. Shaun?
Yes, for me, a little bit different. So before dancing, I was an athlete and specialized in 400 meter hurdles and 400 meter. But I always knew there was something missing. Always knew that I need to explore the side of the dancing world. I need to give it a chance. And because I'm from a small community in Knysna called Karatra, dance did not exist at that time. Very long time. And so I decided to move to Cape Town and did the auditions at Jazz Art, the same institute that Grant did. Did my training there, and from there it's history. And then that's where we met at the Jazz Art Dance Theatre.
Shout out to you. And how long you guys know each other now?
OMG, it's probably more than 10 years.
More than
10 years, way more. It's probably inching towards the 20-year mark, if not more.
15.
Is the friendship still going strong?
Very strong. I don't think we count the days. I think we just live in the moment. Yeah.
And later on, I want you guys to give us the recipe on how to keep the friendship going. Because some friendships, they die quickly.
No, that's
of
true.
small things.
Yeah.
Okay, so now obviously you've been traveling the world. You've been performing. How's the journey? How's been that journey?
Oh my gosh, it's been a roller coaster of a journey. You know, we've got highs and lows, especially with the pandemic. It's been so tough, trying to continue the journey. We've had some and still some amazing experiences working with iconic and legendary South African and international dance artists and companies as well. We found ourselves at a point where we had to reevaluate ourselves, see what it is that we need to do differently. How can we shift? How can we change? How can we be more accommodative? And how can we open ourselves up a little bit more? So it's been it's been a roller coaster of a journey. It's not easy. One door opens and then you make the most of it and another door closes. So you're constantly searching and finding ways to keep going.
Okay, and then to a point where you started your own collective, Figure of Eight Collective. And also, what's up with the name, Figure of Eight?
So we, like Shaun mentioned, we both trained at Jazz Art Dance Theatre, and that's where we met as well. We received a lot of insight about the industry and really about training as well, and how to really become honest and truthful artists. Part of the training we do a lot of exercises, and one of the exercises that we played or that the director did with us was an exercise called Figure of Eight. And the whole motto behind it was think figure of eight, make it work. And whenever there was this problem or this obstacle or this challenge that we needed to overcome, and to get the group together and to bring focus and to see how we can move forward as a group, we would play this exercise. And that stuck with us, with myself and Shaun going into the big world now and taking things on for ourselves. The thing was about making it work. No matter the obstacle, the challenge, the height or the low, we need to see how we can always make it work.
And then the Figure of Eight, what's the criteria if you want to join in? How does it work?
No, at the moment, it's just myself and Grant in the company of Figure of Eight. But we do work on project base. Mm-hmm. So when we maybe get money, then we would employ dancers to join our company. But at the moment, we don't have a full-time company for employment. So at the moment it's just myself and Grant. But we're hoping and we want to really push and open the...
You're already employed too. There's two of you.
The world is The dream is really to have a full-time company. At the moment, like Shaun mentioned, we are project-based, and the aim and the focus is to create employment for semi-professional and professional dancers. I think the proof is in the pudding. You can have a career in the arts, and especially with dance. We just need to make them aware of it, and we just need to show them how you can. So the idea is really to create employment for emerging semi-professional and professional dancers, and just to present innovative and develop amazing boundary pushing work, and tell stories that's unique to our landscape and where we come from.
If you have just tuned in now, speaking to Grant and Shaun, all the way from the Figure of 8, a dance collective. So now, obviously, you guys starting your own thing. What is the focus on the dance styles or the genre? I know that with dancing, for somebody who's not familiar with dancing, actually, if you live in Africa, any kind of dancing, especially in Cape Town. Your b-boys, your break dance, your ballet, your pantsula, there's a whole lot of dances. So what is the focus though for the Figure of 8?
We're generally working all the different styles, but our main focus is contemporary dance, and looking at the now, looking at how we move now, how has the body changed over the time, and how does that change affect the now. And so it's really looking at contemporary dance. I think contemporary dance really is a window, or not a window, but like it's a tool that we can use to really share and tell stories. And we use a lot of gestural work, imagery work. The type of movement that we present on stage is really, we want to show that thing of, as when an audience member come and experience our shows, they're able to reflect and see themselves while watching the show, and take that whatever content or story we're trying to convey in that moment, take that home and see how that kind of relates to them, and how that kind of shapes or works in their environment. Yeah, it's really to kind of identify yourself, see yourself in the work that we're doing.
So the contemporary dance basically taps into all of those genres in one, so that we'll be able to tell all the different stories.
Yeah. Coming back to also in terms of, what are some of the highlights in your career as an artist? I don't want to say as a dancer. No, I feel like I'm boxing you, as an artist.
There's so many highlights, really.
Which
really,
means that means you have plenty to tell me. That means you have plenty to tell me.
You go.
I mean, for me, one highlight that definitely stood out for me was when I got to tour America, and I got to perform at the Hollywood Bowl. We did a production called Firebird, which Jay Pather was the choreographer, and Jenny Young, she used to work with the handspring puppetry, so she did the puppetry in that production. And for me, it was just sort of an eye-opener in terms of how much, like you said in the beginning, how much respect there was for the arts in that community or in that place. So for me, it was just like a eye-opener, and to be able to perform for so many people. And the Hollywood Bowl is very iconic, so that was quite a highlight for me in my career. I mean, there was a few, working with international artists and local artists. Like I got the opportunity to work with David Kramer, being the co-choreographer for Danger in the Dark at the Baxter, and Grant was the other choreographer.
There's a lot.
Don't worry, Grant will take over.
I think for both myself and Shaun, international touring was quite a highlight. Taking our work overseas and seeing how our work is being received on that side. I think there's a deep appreciation for the arts internationally, and I think you just get soaked up when you're there amongst with all that's going on. I think as a country, as a South Africa, we getting there. We're getting there. So for us, touring internationally, working with iconic artists like Sibongile Khumalo, Ngoma as well, David Kramer, Jay Pather, working with the prestigious Baxter Theatre, Artscape Theatre, Joburg Theatre, being the co-choreographers and directors of Danger in the Dark, Anti-Milder musical, working with Mark Lottling.
There's a whole lot. The list is gone. The list is long. Okay, so now what I've noticed throughout the years is you can't really separate the art from politics. They always intertwine with each other, to a point where during the apartheid. There were songs that were not supposed to be out there. There were dances that were not supposed to be out there. You can't dance with a white person if you're a person of color. So now COVID-19 came. And after COVID-19 came, a lot of artists suffered. You know, a lot of places closed down. A lot of people be like, you know what? F this art thing. I'm leaving it. I'm done with it. To a point where legends or artists were complaining, you know, to the Department of Arts and Culture, saying that, what's up, Minister? Why not hooking us? Don't worry, there's a grant and there's the stall and all that. So, Grant and Shaun, how or where were you during those times? And did you guys recover, or do you feel like, that COVID-19 thing showed us a lot when it comes to the investment in art in South Africa?
I think we're still recovering. We're still on the road to recover. I think every day is a process, trying to find our feet again. And like you say, yes, there was a lot of disappointment, especially coming from the government, you know, when it came to the artists. I think in that time we really needed the support. We really needed the shoulders to lean on. And it wasn't like that. And artists really looked at each other, towards each other, to find comfort, support, and to really get somebody to speak to, just to hear. I think sometimes we just need somebody to listen, you know, and then hopefully take action by hearing all the comments and all the thoughts that artists are sitting with. So I think for us, we had an amazing support structure during the time. We had people close to us. We have the phenomenal Marie Vogts that assists us with a lot of the work. So I think they're behind, what's the saying? Behind every man there's a strong woman, or what is it?
It is. You quoted right.
And for her, we really have to say a big thank you to her for all the love and support that she showed us, and still up to this day. And then there's also so many others, you know. The list is just too long to mention them all by name, but really, we had that support, and that gave us courage and inspiration to really keep going. During the pandemic, we had online classes, and we had such an amazing international following tapping into these classes, and so that opened our international community, and then seeing how that brought us all close together. So yes, there was all the politics going on, but for us, we couldn't really get lost in all of that, because it was really about continuing the work.
And it drains energy.
It drains, exactly. We were part of the fight. We got our voices in there. And we're still hoping that there will be a magnificent shift, change, and realization that the arts are there to contribute, whether it's to the economy or whatever the case may be, and we shouldn't leave it alone. We should keep fighting for that voice to be heard.
If you have just tuned in now, speaking to Grant van Ster and also John Oelf. Right? Yeah. Shaun Oelf. Am I saying right?
Oelf.
Oh, Shaun Oelf. Sorry about that one. Shaun Oelf. Okay, so obviously you guys are busy with your own thing. What's on the pipeline?
So at the moment, we're looking at doing a season at the Baxter. The production is called Karatra. And we will be playing from...
What is it called?
Karatra.
Oh, okay.
Remember when
Karatra, which means it's nicer for me because I can't say R. So Karatra, I'm saying it naturally now.
Very nice.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. Shout out to me.
So we'll be doing the production at the Baxter from
the 20th till the 24th of September.
Yes.
Yeah. So Karatra, we actually debuted it at the KAK&K in Oudtshoorn earlier this year, and it really received great there was a great response to it, to the point where we actually received a Kana Award for best debut work. And
damn,
yeah, so that was quite a big thing for us as well. Also for the Kaka and Ka being back for the first time since the pandemic. So it was quite something for us also to be back in live festival environment and being able to perform with a live audience again. So that was great for us. And now we bring the production back to the Baxter, and we also have it shown.
And then later in the year, in October, right?
Yeah.
We're at the Woordfeest.
In Stellenbosch.
In Stellenbosch. We're doing the same production.
Can we give away tickets? Well, I guess it would be nice, though. It would be nice so that they can watch you, award-winning artist, you know?
I'm sure we can arrange something. I'm sure
please,
we can.
Please. Okay, so obviously, there's in anything that you start to do, there's also challenges. What are some of the challenges? The reason I always ask this question lastly is because I don't want to dwell too much on the negativity. You know, I'd always sometimes focus on the positive side of things. So, any challenges?
For us particularly, I would say funding. Funding. Most definitely.
Money.
I think funding is always top of the list, you know. Yeah. I think for myself and Shaun, we've got big dreams for the company, and one of the dream is to have a full, like I said earlier on, is to have a full-time company and infrastructure.
Yeah.
To have a place where we can actually call home. At the moment, we're working out of various spaces. So for us, really to have infrastructure, a space where we can call home and really develop and really bring young people to this artistic venue space and to share and to grow. Yeah, and then challenges.
Money. Yeah.
Money. I think money.
Since we need money or we need funding, let's ask somebody. You never know. This show is millionaires listen
Most
to it.
Definitely,
You'll be
if
shocked.
Anybody out
Even
there.
billionaires listen to Bush Radio. You'll be shocked. How can they do it in order to help you guys?
They can definitely contact us on email on fo8dance@gmail.com, or they can call myself or Shaun on 084 70 we're busy setting up our website. It's taking a little bit of time, so that will be up and running hopefully before the end of let's say into the next 2 months. And then you can find us all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, figure off